So have y'all heard that rumor that Rihanna's dating Leonardo DiCaprio? I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts the other day, and they were talking about how Chris Brown said that Rihanna can't do better than him. And then the podcast person's like, she's walking around here with the Wolf of Wall Street. She's walking around here with Inception, and she can't do better than you? Who beat her? Oh my god. Alright, let's go. Hi Arrows, I'm Kashan and you are watching The Book Archer. And if you couldn't tell from my intro, today we are doing the Leonardo DiCaprio book tag. I think that's what it is. This tag was created by Ginger Reads Lainey, who I'm sure you all know, and I thought this would be fun to do. I actually really enjoy Leonardo DiCaprio, so I'll just be looking at the questions on my phone. Let's go ahead and get started. Question number 1, Growing Pains, which I used to love that show. They used to play reruns of it on Disney Channel. If you know what I'm talking about, then like this video. A book you read before it got famous, hyped up, or popular. The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. When I first read this book, my ex-boyfriend's little brother is the one that recommended it to me. He was like, Hunger Games is so good. You need to read the books. You need to read the trilogy. And somebody bought me the first one and I was like, oh my god, this is so good. And I completely fell in love with the series. And this was before the movies were announced or anything. So when I found out that they were making movies for these, I was like, this book's about to take off. And lo and behold, some of the best book to movie adaptations ever. Question number 2. Tobey Maguire, your favorite book best friend. Kenji from the entire Shatter trilogy. I absolutely love Kenji's character. He definitely had to win because he is a great friend to Juliet and Adam. He definitely sees things from everybody's perspectives, but I really love how he's neutral. Usually when you see a best female friend, best guy friend dynamic, there's always like some type of love triangle, but the friendship is purely platonic. Kenji is just so fun. He has a good energy about him all the time, even when everything is hitting the fan. And he's definitely the person that everyone can go to. I absolutely love his character. He's definitely the best book best friend. Question number 3, Kate Winslet, your OTP. I actually do not have an OTP. There is no book couple that I just completely ship, because for some reason I always like one character over the other one. I usually just love one of the couples in the pairing, but I've never loved like both of the people in the pairing, so I don't have an OTP. Question number 5, Martin Scorsese. I can never say this. Scorsese. An author you will always buy their books no matter what. Sarah J. Maas. I never pre-order books, and I am counting down the days for A Court of Thorns and Roses to be released because, honey, I have already gave them my coins. I said, take my money, give me another trilogy. I want everything that woman writes ever. Question 4, Titanic. A book that made you cry or emotionally upset if you don't cry. Who didn't cry on this? Who didn't cry? Question number 6, Victoria's Secret models. A genre you will always go back to. YA fantasy. YA fantasy is by far my favorite genre. I love it. There are so many great books in the YA fantasy genre. I just feel like since it's fantasy, the possibilities are endless. My favorite genre ever. Happy Meme Leo, a character that makes you smile. Percy Jackson from the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. He is just so much fun to read. Like, Percy is so laid back. There are all these crazy world-ending type of things always going on, and Percy just manages to have the best sense of humor. Oh my gosh, his narrations are everything. Question number 8. Every Leo character. Your favorite complex characters. Warner from the Shatter trilogy is one of the most complex characters I have ever read about, like in general. I just found him to be so layered and so interesting to read about. It is hard not to be obsessed with his character. Whether, like, I feel like whether you like him or dislike him, there's like no in between. Whatever you feel about Warner, it's a strong feeling, and I absolutely love Warner. His character is just so unique from anything else I've ever read. I love him. Leonardo NoOSCAro, a book that doesn't get the recognition it deserves. So instead of picking a book for this question, I decided to go with an author, Scott Westerfeld. Scott Westerfeld has written like a ton of books, and I've actually read 6 of his books, the first being the Uglies trilogy, Uglies Pretty Specials. Now, I know a lot of people don't like this series or trilogy in particular, but the thing is, this was the first dystopian. Scott Westerfeld is ahead of the curve. I feel he's always been. This is the first dystopian that I ever read in life, and I read these in like the 7th grade, before dystopians were even popular. This is before Hunger Games, before Divergent. This is when there was nothing but The Giver. And a few others. There were a few others, but this one was really good to me. I really just like how original his stories are, because I read another trilogy by him and it's historical fiction steampunk, and it still has fantastical elements, and that's the Leviathan trilogy, and I never hardly hear about that on booktube. The only other person who I know who appreciates and likes Scott Westerfeld like I do is Kat from Katie Tastic, or y'all know exactly who I'm talking about, and she has mentioned him before in her videos, but I never hear anybody else talking about his works. He also has vampire books too, so it's like he has something for everybody. No, he's not my top favorite author, but I've read 6 of his books, so apparently I like something that he's writing, and I just wish he got a little bit more recognition on booktube. So that wraps up the Leonardo DiCaprio book tag. If you've read any of the books that I mentioned in this video, talk about them down below as well. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at The Book Archer and on Instagram at The Book Archer. Alright, arrows, I will see y'all in my next video. Bye!